According to anonymous opinion polls, married women cheat more often than single women. I am ready to provide this information, and most of my family psychologist colleagues who are also constantly faced with a phenomenon like adultery in their practice will help with this topic as much as possible. That a woman tells her psychotherapist, sometimes even her close friends, and even more so a man she may not know, is something that her partner does not know. Let's see what the reason for the infidelity of women is, who in the civil registry and sometimes even in the church during their marriage swore to support their spouse in pain and joy. Let's also see if it is really easier to seduce a married woman than one who is not officially married or dating anyone. Let's see if it is true that married women are more likely to give men. Let's find out. But first, I would like you to leave your opinion in the comments section. Tell me if you have ever slept with a married woman and how quickly it happened. Maybe you have witnessed a story where a wife cheated on her husband. Therefore, what changes the moment a woman marries is that legal status. Until the couple has not acquired common property or had children, it seems that the legal status does not affect anything. But it is not so. Thus, most women after marriage feel that the objective has been achieved, that they have taken the man under their control. And when there are jointly acquired assets, the springs of influence over the spouse are even greater. In marriage, many women relax. If you are married, remember how your wife prepared for the first dates, how she put on makeup, how she dressed, and what has changed over time. She responds how she dresses now when you go somewhere, or how she takes care of herself now. She responds what clothes she wears when she goes to bed. I even know cases where a woman, after getting married, relaxed so much that she stopped shaving her legs. I hope you understand that the stamp in a woman's passport is not a mere formality. It is also a confirmation of the seriousness of her man's intentions. If you compare a married girl and a free girl, there is a main difference: their needs. The principle of the origin of any need is very simple. We are attracted to what we do not have and what we want to possess. If most free women have a simple goal to find a man who loves her, protects her, and takes care of her, in search of a man like that, she regularly goes on dates. On those dates, she has more than enough romance. They give her flowers, declare their love for her, and even someone calls her to get married. She feels desired, but the girl's goal is to choose the most worthy candidate, and her main need is the need for stability, the need for a family and children that can only be satisfied with the help of a man who is right for her. She now considers a married woman. Her need for style is satisfied because she has a husband, she may have children, and has also satisfied her maternal instinct. But in most couples, the same problem is observed. The lack of romance and passion that in relations with her husband has long since disappeared. The man has switched to provider mode. Everything passes time at work or at home in front of the computer. All romanticism is reduced to meeting mutual friends once a month and going on trips to the sea once a year. And if the man also works shifts, the woman spends most of the time alone. You can also see the opposite image. A man has failed for a long time to balance importance with a nice courtship. He tries somehow to impress his woman, but the woman of his courtship no longer exists. The relationship between them is no longer interesting because of this. Therefore, the main need of a married woman becomes the need for romance and passion. And if, in addition to everything, she has practically no interest in common with her husband, communication is limited to solving everyday problems and watching television programs at night. Then, the whole complex of accumulated problems is added to the need to see a person related to her, a person who is mentally close to her. Her husband cannot satisfy this need either, but the wife does not want to divorce either. After all, the husband continues to satisfy his main need, stability. He brings money to the house if necessary. He can solve the problems that arise. He takes care of the children, and to satisfy these needs that the husband does not satisfy, some women take a lover. And it is not even necessary for him to be a lover. Sleeping with someone can be just a flirtation. If a free girl has more than enough of that flirtation, that need is satisfied for her because she regularly meets new men and dates. Then the married woman lacks male attention because she spends a lot of time with her husband and takes care of the housework. The need for romance and passion that her husband lacks surfaces in her at those times when she is resting somewhere alone without a husband. Communication with other men helps her to entertain her ego, to raise her self-esteem, to feel requested and desired again. I'm not saying that all women are like this, and there are many wives who are faithful to their husbands, but if the emotional intimacy between the couple has disappeared in the relationship, they simply live as neighbors who sometimes have sex. This crisis in a relationship with a high degree of probability will end in separation. It is only a matter of time, as confirmed by official divorce statistics that exceed 60%. Let's see now if all this can be avoided. To understand why married women are more unfaithful, it is important to understand what sex means for a woman. Sexual desire in a woman originates in the head and not like a man below the waist. If for a woman who is not in a relationship, the main need is the need for stability and to choose a man according to a broader list of criteria, for her it is important to educate her chosen one about the seriousness of his intentions so that he is not an alcoholic and a drug addict, so that she earns enough to have her own apartment, a stable job with a decent salary. A free girl understands that it is better not to sleep with the man she likes on the first date because otherwise she could scare him away. And if she wants to find a partner for sex once or twice, there will be no problem with that because she has a selection of friends and suitors that she does not consider for a serious relationship. Now consider a married woman. For her, the main thing is the need for attention, romance, and passion. For her, the emotional component of communication is important. When next to a man, she feels like a loved and desired little girl. The sexual attraction to her husband is not so great. Perhaps in bed with him, she is simply carrying out an obligatory program. Satisfying the need for attention, romance, and passion is much easier. The list of criteria to select a man who can satisfy this feminine need is much shorter. As I said before, maybe it is a lover who speaks nicely to her, compliments her, and at the same time is good in bed. For some women, it is enough to pair up with a like-minded man with whom they will have many common interests and topics of conversation, although it is a friend-zone communication. But with such a friend, a married woman will be able to escape the accumulated problems in the relationship. The fact of communicating with a man who is in love with her and who tries to get closer to her helps to increase her self-esteem and entertain her ego. It is enough for someone to flirt in a bar or restaurant with a drunk acquaintance. Of course, in each of the examples, the claims of a man who can satisfy a woman's need for attention are not so high, especially considering the fact that she is limited in communication with the opposite sex since she has a husband. So the choice of candidates is not as big as a free girl's, and that's why she is forced to lower the bar. In my opinion, none of the above options for communicating with another man is recommended for a married woman. But since some women behave like that, it is argued that married women give more often. I will replace the word give by opening up to new acquaintances, flirting and communication that can also end in sex. That is one of the main needs of many married women. To conclude this topic, I will say one very important thing that I want all men to know and understand. For it to occur, adultery takes two people, a man and a woman. So I never tire of repeating on environmental issues. If you sleep with someone's wife, remember she has a husband. Maybe there are children who love their father. It doesn't matter what the woman says about him, that she doesn't love him. that she wants to leave him. It's not certain that this is true. When, excuse the expression, you sleep with someone's wife, put yourself in her husband's place. Yes, someone will say how weak he should suffer, but no, be kind. He didn't do anything to you. That's why I have never slept with a married woman in my life. What you really want is to meet a decent woman who will never cheat on you. Good luck with that. Getting this video seen by as many men as possible will help reduce cheating in this world. I sincerely hope that this message has been useful to you. I want to congratulate you greatly for having come this far and for having finished the video. That means that you want to improve as a person. If you liked the video, leave your comment. You don't know what to comment. Comment, "I dare." So I know you made it to the end. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now and join us. Thank you for your attention. Until next time, warrior.